with an accident. The injury was elbow fracture. So I was in a cast for about 4 weeks, post which I was advised to take physiotherapy. So I came across Portea. I took it for almost a week's time. So it's better now. I'm able to move my hand. It was a boon to me since somebody is coming home and treating me and taking care of me the way I want them to do.
Shefali has seen significant improvement since she's been having regular visits from her physiotherapist, who she was connected to on Portea. Let's find out more about how this startup is making healthcare easier for millions.
Making healthcare accessible to millions. Now that is the aim of the experienced founders of Portea. Meet GANESH, a successful serial entrepreneur with 4 successful greenfield ventures and exits. His current venture, Portea Medical, provides technology-led home healthcare to the Indian consumer. Meet MEENA Ganesh, the co-founder and managing director at Portea Medical. You probably are familiar with MEENA. After all, she's one of India's foremost business leaders with nearly 3 decades of experience in industries including healthcare, consulting, technology, outsourcing, education, and e-commerce. And helping the dynamic duo execute this vision is Dr. Uday Maya, who is a medical director at Portea Medical. This team aims to develop Portea into India's largest and fastest growing home healthcare companies. And the venture also won Health Startup of the Year at the NDTV Unicorn Startup Awards 2016. But in a nation where the healthcare system often comes under the scanner for its infrastructural challenges and intrinsic shortcomings, what can Portea offer the Indian patient?
I believe today if you go to any corporate hospital in any city, 40 to 50% of them have no business to be there. That's because they're either there to show a medical report or see a doctor for such a trivial reason which can be seen at home. So with the medical system we have in place, we're offloading the whole system off the hospital list and seeing most of this at home. Therefore, everybody functions optimally. This is one of the prime functions of Portea.
Yes, you heard it. Portea aims to address a massive gaping gap in the home healthcare segment in India, especially for the nation's aging population. In the last few decades, there has been a dramatic growth of chronic diseases, causing a burden on the existing infrastructure. And that's where health ventures like Portea come in. Portea competes in a space which has other health startups like Practo, NedMeds and many more. But this venture aims to be the first port of call outside of hospitals for the Indian healthcare consumer across the 16 Indian cities in which it operates. Portea has completed 1.89 million patient visits across the length and breadth of the country since its inception in 2013. Through services like doctor chat, counseling, vaccination, pharmacy support for specialty drugs, Portea claims to deliver all-round care to patients. The venture has also expanded to some of India's leading hospitals for which it runs home health services. But competition is knocking at the door. What is Portea doing differently?
We see a very big gap in how healthcare services are being consumed by consumers, and using technology, we want to make it a very painless and easy access to all kinds of healthcare services that people need.
Through the Portea app available on Android and iOS platforms, patients can now book healthcare services at home. These range from physiotherapy, nursing, doctor visits, lab sample collection or even medical equipment. And the founders say that it's because of the convenience and expertise offered by the app that the venture has witnessed a huge demand for their services. But here is what we want to know. Portea claims to be the first port of call for a patient. How does the venture achieve this? The health sector is competitive and every other startup is fighting it out to survive. What is Portea's USP? Can Portea make home healthcare accessible and remove all pain points?
What do you see as the healthcare sector's major issues, and how does Portea plan to fix them?
Outside of tertiary care or hospital care, there's just complete mayhem. There are no brands, there is no standardization, there is no availability of care outside of hospital. So that is really what we are focusing. For the elderly population, for people who are above 60, and for chronic patients like diabetes, like cardiovascular or cancer patients, we provide full comprehensive support outside of hospitals. That's really is our business. We are focused on that, and the elderly population.
But without a doubt, the healthcare sector, particularly for startups, is very overcrowded. What makes Portea different?
What we are focused on, we are a full stack healthcare company, single port of call for providing all services that a patient needs outside of the hospital at the comfort of home. We are the only player who are providing that last mile. That means doctor at home, physiotherapist at home, medicines at home, diagnostics at home, or even medical equipment at home. That is the area that we are addressing on.
So how does your revenue model work?
Like a normal hospital or a clinic or a diagnostic lab, we charge for services. We also have a subscription package where the elderly can subscribe to a package, which means a doctor visit a month, twice in a week we get a nursing attendant to come, take the vitals and monitor the patients and suggest changes in diet, changes in medicines, which we provide under the monthly subscription package.
Well, we've heard it from one of the founders. Now let's discuss the venture and its services with MEENA Ganesh.
Now, of course, Portea is based in metropolitan cities, but what about areas outside the cities which may have lower reach? Are you able to access them?
So currently we are already in about 16 cities, and that's not just the very large metros, it automatically covers the next rung of cities as well. Now that said, these cities can become hubs from which you can manage spokes, whether it is in terms of using technology to provide, to capture the data and see when intervention is required, to provide telemedicine, to provide other chat-based and other solutions which patients do need.
But healthcare costs can be so prohibitive for most patients. Are the costs going to go down for them?
In the longitudinal survey, when you look at how a patient or a population consumes care, the cost absolutely goes down. Because you provide care at the time when it is needed, and make sure that people are managing their health the right way, so that they don't go into the acute and into the hospitalization and into the more complex multidimensional treatments that they need to go through. So this is about reducing the overall cost of care for the population as a whole.